Good evening, everyone, and welcome back. So let's just recap the day real quick. So this morning went to the gym. Usually I go to the climbing gym on Tuesdays, but I just wasn't feeling it. Didn't sleep very well, so I decided to try to just go to the weight room and see what I could do. Turns out I was pretty exhausted. I got into my sumo deadlift and basically just failed during my warm-up sets, so I gave up on doing my heavy lifts for the day and moved on to just some of my lighter lifts. Made it through the rest of that workout, but just overall, just not a great start to the morning. I was a little worried, starting to get sick, so I kind of made the commitment to make something healthy for dinner tonight. And to be honest, when I got home, I was super tired still. I just did not want to do anything. But making that commitment this morning was kind of helpful because I decided to follow through on it and made a lentil shepherd's pie from the blog that I really enjoy is Rainbow Plant Life. Lots of great recipes on there, and I really love her material and just bought that person's most recent cookbook. And so that was a good dinner, and I'm excited about that because I feel like that'll give me a little more, hopefully give me some recovery tonight and a little more energy for tomorrow, which I'm going to try to make it back to the gym. Next up, so there was also some exciting stuff waiting for me when I got home. First up, we'll go with Hull Breach here. So Hull Breach is the supplemental material for the RPG Mothership. I am going to hopefully start working on the campaign for that this weekend, and I've been reading, so I usually drink coffee in the morning and read a book. So right now I've been reading the Warden's Manual for Mothership and just trying to learn the rules system, and also get the Warden's Manual has fantastic advice on how to run an RPG. So I'm super excited to hope we dive into that more this weekend. The other really exciting thing that I just got is expansion for Dune. So got Dune Imperium Bloodlines. One of my favorite games is Dune Imperium Uprising. It's well up by a lot. I actually put off playing Dune Imperium for quite a while. It seemed like I kind of missed the train on it when all those expansions came out. Once they released the Uprising version, which is kind of like version 1.5, I decided to finally okay, I don't need all the expansions, I'll just do this thing. And finally I got that and absolutely love it. I can't recommend it enough. I am super excited that there's going to be more families to play with, or more leaders, I should say, and can't wait to get that one to the table. So then next, finally following up on my video yesterday, is just saying that I'm doing this to try to motivate myself to do the things that I really want to start doing in the afternoons and evenings. So today I'm super tired and I really wanted to just sit down and watch TV, but I decided to just do something low effort that I want to make some progress on, and that's painting my miniatures. So here we got one. This guy that doesn't show up great on the camera, but this is one of the minis for Massive Darkness 2. This is the demon minion, basically. So there's also basically a mob. So there's a mob leader, the bigger one. So that's the mob leader. Doing pretty good on there. Maybe I'll get another shot of those guys later. But I've done quite a few of the mobs. I have a total of 3 to go. This is, I guess 2.25 because this one's almost done. I just have to kind of finish up that skirt. You can kind of see the white there. I tried something a little different and I don't really like how it turned out. So I'm going to touch these guys up and see if I can fix that. Basically, I am not very well versed in miniature painting, so I did some research and decided to go with this thing called speed paints by Army Painter, and to me it sounded like kind of paint by numbers for adults. So kind of like you put a little bit of the speed paint on your brush and then you touch the spot you want to paint, and it'll kind of fill into the lines and give you the contrast and the coloring that you want. You don't really have to brush the whole feature. So acrylic paints, you have to be a little more detail oriented, and I'm not, and at least not in this area. I was just looking for something to kind of get me going fast. So essentially I just have to prime them, and then I get to use these contrast paints, and it fills in, and it gets these nice colorations and contrast kind of pre-built in. whenever I use the paint, or the contrast paints. I did try using the acrylic for the first time on the skirt, because essentially the contrast paints, their whites are not super white, they're more of a gray when I put them down. And I was thinking I really wanted those to be like super bright white. But after doing it, there just wasn't enough contrast on them, and they looked super flat. So I really just don't like the look of them. So now I'm going to essentially apply a contrast paint, which will basically make them look a little more gray. But then I'm going to do some dry brushing. So I do have some Citadel dry paints, which, to be frank, I 100% don't recommend these. I don't understand these. Now that I know a little bit more about painting miniatures, it seems like I should have just bought some acrylic paints and that you can just use those for dry brushing. Buying the specific dry brushing paints seems like a bit of a waste, because now I can't use them as regular paints, basically. And overall, I got them on sale, and I would say they're probably on sale because for that reason. You don't really need the, the dry brushing paints. But yeah, so the plan is I'll put that contrast paint kind of over that pure white to try to get some dimension. Then I'm going to dry brush to kind of bring out that hopefully bright white color again. So I'll have the grays in the background and the bright white on the front. So ideally giving a little bit of dimension to that. I do have some other guys primed already, so like that guy is a primed fire entity, so eventually he should look like what's on the card here. I have no idea how I'm going to paint that. That's going to be ridiculous, because it's just, I have no idea how I'm going to do fire with the contrast paints. Right now my plan is to mostly just get down a base layer with the contrast paints, and then probably do dry brushing to try and layer in those colors. So we'll see how that goes. And then I got my last set of minions are going to be the Fallen Angels. These guys are pretty cool. They look pretty simple to do, which I'm actually kind of excited about. A lot of black and just kind of very light skin tone colors. Yeah, and that'll finish off all the minions and mobs for me once I'm done with those ones for Mass of Darkness 2, which is kind of going to be a big milestone. Is then I'm going to have the heroes left and some of the big bosses. Still going to be a lot of work on those, but it'll be really cool to be done with the kind of the base minion set. Then eventually get to the terrain pieces, but I expect those to go a little faster. So yeah, and then the other thing with these demons I was working on, I kind of screwed up on the eyes. So I needed to fix the skin basically to redo the eyes. And I'll admit that with contrast paints, I do some mixing to try to get the colors I want. And it works great, but essentially I forgot what colors I mixed. So getting color matched to their skin again, so I can kind of redo those eyes is a bit of a pain, but I'll end up getting something that is functional. I think I'm the only one that's probably going to notice that, because that's a very fine detail. So most people aren't even going to look that close, but it annoys me, so I'm going to try to fix it. Even though I just said I'm not detail oriented, I'm getting annoyed by that. Yeah, so I think that's what I'm going to do for a little bit tonight, and then I'm just going to go to bed and get to the gym in the morning. And we'll see what tomorrow has in store. Tomorrow is board game night, so we'll see if I get a recording in, but essentially Wednesday nights is board game night at one of the local game stores, and been going there for 2 years now, so that's where I'll be headed. All right, thanks for watching.